Better late than never. My parts finally came in from the Classic Centre today. Unfortunately, it's not everything, but it's a good start to make. So I can actually install my new injectors now, along with my no longer available injector sleeves. Of course, I will not be throwing away my originals. At least 4 of them are still good. So these are the O-rings that go on the outside of that white sleeve. You just have to wrestle it down from the tip until it gets into the groove where the O-ring sits. And that's where it needs to be. The next thing is to install the top black seal on the injector before it goes into that white plastic sleeve. It can be a bit of a struggle trying to install this dry. For this reason, I actually lube up the exterior of the injector with silicone grease. Some people will be horrified with this idea because, oh my goodness, silicone grease destroys catalytic converters and O2 sensors. Well, my catalytic converter died many years ago. It's actually melted down, so it's probably going to get a broom handle through it before I drive this car. So I don't care. You may want to use some other grease, but silicone grease is what I use on this external O-ring as well. The last thing you want to do is push O-rings into a tight fitting hole dry. It just rips them up, and it's a welcome for vacuum leaks. Once that's lubed up, it pushes in nice and positively. And I can be assured that that vacuum leak will not exist. You'll notice these 2 openings on the side of that injector sleeve. That's actually for the idle air. So the intake manifold is quite intricate on the mating surface where it matches up with the head. It actually has an air passageway in there for all 6 injector holes, and that's what feeds the idle air down, and it actually escapes around the tip of the injector itself. There are actually standoffs inside that plastic sleeve to stop the injector going the whole way down. It's very clever. This makes me think 3D printing them is probably going to be difficult, if not impossible. I don't even know about machining it, but then there are people more skilled than me in this area, so hopefully someone can come up with something. But having said that, maybe with this sudden interest with these injector sleeves, I believe they've all been sold now. Maybe MB will get the message and produce some more. We can only hope. So just one more to go now. This is the last one going in now. It's worth noting that it doesn't really matter about the orientation of those air passage holes in those sleeves. It can go in any direction. It works in any way, but I like to have them all the same, just for my OCD. So that's all 6 installed now. I'm not going to install the top brackets that hold them in, because that will prevent those protective covers being installed. So that's my new dipstick installed as well, and also in my parcel of parts that I received today was the throttle body gasket. But before installing that, I went ahead and vacuumed out the area of the intake manifold below that throttle body, because I noticed a bit of dust and dirt had collected in there just through the process of assembling the intake manifold and moving things around. So that's all nice and clean now. You don't really want any of that crap going inside the engine on the first start. These gaskets seem to be dealer only. although I did see some, or at least one, in stock at Pelican Parts. No doubt they're going to become NLA at some stage, but fortunately I've been able to get one for both of my cars, no problem. I believe I got them both from the Classic Centre. I did have all of my bolts organised, so I knew exactly which ones went back here. Obviously make sure this isn't trapping anything down when you're bolting it down, and I have applied high temperature synthetic grease to all of these linkages as well, and that's just snapping back on now. Unfortunately, the spring that is right next to the throttle body is particular to the M104 K-Jet, and of course it's no longer available. I can't get one anywhere. I'm still yet to find something suitable. I'll probably go to the hardware store tomorrow and find something. This is how the previous owner was driving the car around, just with the one spring. It does work, but it's kind of dangerous because that throttle body doesn't always close all the way home, and I'm not happy with that. I want it to be perfect. And we can't forget to screw down the electrical connection for the throttle body switches. It's really not that clever. It's a switch for fully closed and a switch for fully open. It doesn't give a toss about whatever position it's in anywhere in between. That's really the job of the airflow meter for the ECU to know what's going on there. And obviously I have to rearrange all of those cables later. And pleasingly, all of these new rubber pieces, of course they're genuine, they are nice and soft and compliant, they go exactly as you want them to. I can't even imagine trying to install the original one because it basically just shattered as soon as I tried removing it. Yeah, they just get baked and turn into hard plastic basically. Can't blame it, I guess. It's 30 years old. I'm actually grateful they still even make this stuff. So there's little hose clamps on both ends of that. Unfortunately it wasn't possible to show the process because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to see what I was doing myself. But that's that hose installed for now. There is another whole bunch of hoses I need to install, but I'm not going to install that airflow meter housing until I've got a spring for my throttle body, because I'm just going to have to get it out of the way again, no doubt. And of course this is brand new as well, because the original was like concrete. And I believe this hose clamp has been revised because it's ridiculously stiff. I had to use my lockjaw pliers to actually compress it. It's under some serious tension. I'm not sure why they went so over the top with that clamp. But in any case, once it's on there, it's never going anywhere ever again. I don't really ever have to remove that to do any job. It does pop off the air filter housing easily at the front, so that's not a problem. And of course I wasn't happy with the clamp not being straight, so I had to level that off. And isn't it strange to see one of these this soft? It is strange to me because both of mine are like plastic. And that's where I'm leaving it for today. This delivery came quite late, so my enthusiasm has run out for today. I'll do some more tomorrow. And just some bonus footage. This is the original one off the red car. It is broken, so it was not able to be used anyway. I absolutely cannot bend that, no matter how much I try. I might be able to if I use both hands, but yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Even placing my knee on it, No. Good luck with that. That would probably just snap.